In this video, we want to spend some time focusing on submittals, and we're going to break it down into a couple of different small video segments. But in today's segment, we really want to focus just on the basics. So we're going to access our submittals here from the project dashboard, and you'll notice at the top, there's a button at the top for submittals. This particular project has 13 already. So if we click on this, we will see a list view of all of the submittals that we have in this project already. And with this list view, we'll have all of the same functionality that we have with all of the other list views inside of 2020 Construction Cloud. You know, we can group them by statuses or discipline or project or whatever we need to do to be able to see these, to group these, to filter them, search for them, anything to be able to make better decisions and make them faster. To create a new submittal, typically you would just click on this button right here to create, and it would open up a new submittal for this project, Julian Heights Condos. But in the interest of time, I'm simply going to click on this one that I've already created. And you'll notice right here that just like every other object or every other form inside of 2020, that in the top right, we have the stages that have been defined for this particular submittal in this project. So this submittal is going to start in a draft stage where we can enter in all the details, and when we're satisfied with everything that we've put on the submittal, we're going to go ahead and hit the validate button, and that's going to move it over to a not submitted state. And now we have a new button here to submit for review. So as we're moving through the different stages of the submittal, we're going to have different options that are available to us in the form of buttons right here. Just like everything else, we just have to hit the edit button, and that will put the form into edit mode. We can always cancel, print, and preview. We'll preview what this looks like in the web portal, and we'll discuss that in some of the upcoming videos. The submittal also has a button bar. So you'll see right here, the first button is the revisions of this submittal. So as we're going through, if this submittal gets rejected or we've been asked to revise and resubmit and we create a revision, we'll see a listing of all of those revisions right here. But as we scroll down through here, obviously we have a submittal number. You know, we're going to put in the description of the submittal and all of the submittal general information, like the project and the subcontractor, what type this is, whether it's shop drawings or product data, what the discipline is, who submitted it, the ball in court. Next to that, you can see that we have the revision number and whether this is the current version of this submittal. So as we're creating those submittals, not only would we see all of the versions here in this smart button, but we would also be able to see what revision number we are and the current version here. Who created it, the date it was created. Scrolling down below, we have the details of this specific submittal. So whether it is a package or it's related to a package. If we click on is a package here, notice these tabs right here, these 4 tabs. If I say that this is a package, now we have the ability to add in other submittals to this. So we can group submittals into a package of submittals by clicking on this button right here. I'm going to leave it unchecked. And if this were an individual submittal, we could also select the drop down and apply this to a submittal package that has been created. We can also select the specs section, the analytic account, which is the project budget or the cost code or the phase code or whatever, and the location. Off to the right, we have the important dates for this submittal. And this is really important for us to be able to track and to group and sort and manage our submittals so that we're effectively getting them approved on time so that those materials are on site at the appropriate times. So here we have our submit by date and the date it was received and the date we submitted it to design, the final date, final due date, and the lead time required before it's on site. So we can fill these in. Some of these dates will actually be filled in automatically based on the workflows that we set up. Down below, we kind of have the meat and potatoes of the submittal. So you can see these 4 tabs here. The first one's the distributed to. This is where we're going to control and manage who's going to see and receive this submittal. So the first tab down below is the submitted to. These are the people that we need to take action on the submittal. They need to approve it. They need to see it. They need to give their comments. They need to act on this submittal in one way or another. So we would simply add an item and we would put in all the individuals that we wanted to approve and verify that this submittal was correct. On the Copy To tab is where we're going to put all of the individuals that we simply want to inform that we've sent out a submittal. Maybe the project manager or superintendent or other people related to the project that we just want to keep in the loop and make sure that they have the communication that's going on this particular project. So this first tab is the communication, who's going to receive this. You'll notice that right below here we have a workflow field and we have a couple of options. The ability to send it in sequence or send it to all. And this is really referring to the people that need to interact on this submittal. If I hit send to all, it's going to send it to both of these individuals at the same time. They'll receive an email and they can interact and collaborate with that submittal at the same time. If I hit send to sequence, then it's going to first send it to the first individual. And when that individual has approved, then an email and notification will go out to the next individual so that they can review it and approve it and make their comments. And we'll talk more about these workflows in our next video. But that's this next tab here, the responses, is where we're going to track and we're going to see all of the responses that have been received from the people that are on this submitted to tab. So the responses will be right here in this response tab. The attachments here is where we're going to keep track of all of the different files and attachments and anything that is associated with this particular submittal. You'll notice that we have one in here now. It's really easy as with everything inside of 2020 to attach items. So once this is in saved mode, you've saved the submittal, all you need to do is simply drag the attachments from your computer or from wherever you have them and drag and drop it into the big white box that says drag and drop it here. If you're not in the right place, then you'll have a big green box that says drag it to the green box. So pretty self-explanatory. You're just going to drag it and drop it. And then when you do, those attachments will be uploaded and you'll be able to see them and preview them here with the 2020 web viewer. Once it's created right here, when we hit submit for review, that's going to generate an email and it's going to send this out. Okay, just like this. So here we've generated this submittal notification for the Julian Heights condos. The recipients will be able to view and respond to this submittal simply by clicking on the button. They don't have to have a username or anything for the 2020 system. It makes it really easy. Also, you can see that right here, with this particular system, we're attaching a PDF version of the submittal to be sent out as well. So in our next video, we'll focus more on the workflow, on the web portal, the communication and the collaboration with these submittals. We hope to see you there.